Hey folks, this is Mike Tholfsen from the Microsoft Education team. We're with the latest edition of the Remote Learning with Microsoft EDU webinar. And we've been doing these for well over a month now. And we always have fantastical guests. And today, I mean, there's only so many doubled your trouble and twin puns you can make, but today we do have double the fantastic sisms. And I even doubled the little icons here. So we've got the eTwins, the hashtag eTwins, Alberto and Mario Herraez. They are here and going to be showing a lot what they're doing with Teams, OneNote, and Flipgrid for remote learning. So we are so excited to have both of them at the same time, star power. And we're going to start out first with our just quick links and news. We have the Microsoft Remote Learning website, which is our main site that has everything you need to know about remote learning. We have our Teams EDU Quick Start Guide, the downloadable, super handy PDF in multiple languages that gets you up and running with Teams really fast. And then if you haven't already joined the remote learning community, over 5,000 strong educators from around the world and the United States collaborating, learning from each other in one big giant Microsoft team. The product team is in there, I'm in there, Marilyne's in there, Charles in there. We're all helping out everyone in the community get up and running and supported with this remote learning community. In terms of today's updates, well, the first one, of course, if you don't already know or go to the eTwins blog, you should, because it's really, really cool. Some of the things they talk about today are there, plus a whole lot more. We also put out a blog recently. There's all this interest in inclusive, accessible tools, special education, distance learning, and all sorts of accessibility. We put out a blog that pulls together all the resources and tools and tips and training into one place, really focusing on distance learning. So check that blog out if you haven't. And then also there's a lot of quick tips videos out there right now. I've made some, Microsoft has some, Alice Keeler has some, Holly Clark has some, and it's hard to keep track of them. So using the good old Wakelet tool, I just popped together about 10 little playlists full of these, 1 max 2-minute little short videos to get you up and running with Microsoft software. So check those out as well. And with that, we're going to move on to Alberto and Mario. So Alberto teaches 5th grade in Utah, and Mario teaches 5th grade in Utah as well. And I've known them for a few years now. We've met in person many times. We're hanging out on a webinar now, which is great. And I'm going to introduce them. We're going to switch over to the video. I'm going to control all of one of the slides, and then they're going to be showing everything and take over and show exactly what they're doing. So welcome, Alberto and Mario. It's great to have you both here.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to our presentation. So I'm Alberto.
And I'm Mario. How are you doing?
And we are so excited to be here today to share a little bit of what we are doing with Microsoft tools in this remote learning environment that we need to teach in nowadays.
So what we are going to talk about is Microsoft Teams. We will talk about channels, assignments, some tabs, and then how we do the meetings, and then OneNote, integration with Microsoft Teams, and then best practices. And then Flipgrid, we will talk about like how you can do attachments, new features, and all of those things that will help you out during this remote learning environment. So now we are going to share our screen because we want to show to you our Teams, our OneNote, and how we do all of these things.
So this is example of a Microsoft Teams that we have put together. Because of FERPA, we cannot share with you the actual work of our students. So this is a Microsoft Teams we have put together, but it is really, really similar than the Microsoft Teams that we actually use in our classes.
Yeah, it has the same structure. So we really wanted to talk about how we have structured this because we think that it is very important, have everything organized. So in the first place, we have the general channel on the left. You can see it. So I don't know if you knew this, but you can block students from posting in this channel. So you have the option if you click in those 3 dots and then manage channel. you can say that permissions, only owners can post messages.
And that's what we do for our general channel, because we want this to be kind of go-to place for them to know what's going on. So we post announcements. All the assignments that we post in Microsoft Teams are always here, like as an announcement that that assignment was created. So if students want to know what's going on in our classes, they always come to the general channel. And here we have some announcements like end of the term with some pictures, missing work, an announcement that they need to finish their missing work, and also all the assignments, new assignments they need to complete.
Yeah, so we created this because at the beginning we were making announcements in the general channel, and then like our students, you know, like wrote 1,000 things, and then they posted GIFs or funny pictures and all of that. So the rest of the students couldn't see the announcements. So that's why we blocked it, and we created this as like a place for for all of the announcements. So this would be kind of like the a starting point for our students. Every time they log in Teams, they have to come here and see if there are new announcements or new information that they need to know.
Then the second channel that we have here is the live classes. Same thing happened to us before than the announcement. So we used to do the live meetings in different channels. For example, if I wanted a live meetings talking about science, I used to do it in the science channel. If I wanted a math live meetings, I used to do it in the math channel. But we ran into the same problem. So students like kept chatting and chatting and chatting, and then other students couldn't find the recording of the live meetings that we did. So that's why we created a live classes channel, and here is where we do all of our live classes, all of the meetings for our lessons.
All of the lessons. So you can see that the first one is, for example, Science 3.1, static electricity, and Science 3.2. So we have different lessons here.
So the good point about that is like you can record the Teams meetings, and we love that because some students, they have a different schedule, or some families, they have like, I don't know, 3-4 children that they need to have access to the computer. So not everyone can access to a device at the same time. So some of those students need to kind of let their siblings to work during that time, so they can always watch the recording.
So if they miss it, they just come to the channel, watch the recording, watch the lesson, and after that, do their assignment.
Then we have like language arts channel, math channels, science channel, and history channel.
So we have those because how many times have you answered the same question? We used to run into that problem a lot. We had students asking the same question over and over. So one day we decided to create these different channels for different subjects. Because if a student have a problem or that student have a question, what they can do is come to this channel and search for the same question. So if they find that the answer for that question, they don't have to ask it again, and we don't have to answer that question again and over and over. So this is very, very useful because some students, you just don't answer that many questions. Some students just can find their answers here.
And also it's a really good way for us to organize questions and everything. If I want like to check if I have any questions about history, because I just published a history assignment, I can always come to the history channel and kind of go through the questions and answer my students. And the last channel we just created for these remote learning situations, and it is just chatting, and we love it.
It is just have fun, you know, like for us, social emotional learning is very, very important, and we want our students to have fun. And during this remote learning situation, at the beginning, it was so hard for them to have fun, to relax, and to enjoy all of this learning. So we decided to create this channel, and there's nothing, let's say, like academic related here. You know, it's just about gifts or jokes or
birthday celebrations,
whatever we think is funny, we just post it here. So it is just a place for our students to interact with each other, to have fun, to laugh, and all of that.
And then we like to have these kind of forms or polls for them to have fun as well. I don't know if you knew, but you can create forms like polls inside of a Microsoft Teams channel. And this is an example of it because we like to do like funny things during our calls, our daily calls with our students. So we always like to wear like crazy hair, sunglasses, those things that make the lessons like fun. So this is an example of a poll that we did for them to vote on the next thing they want everyone to wear.
Yeah, so as we said, it is everything about having fun, about just, forgetting about all of this situation that we're having right now and just relax and we call it recess time. So kind of that.
So that's awesome. And also we like to have here, this is a link to a Flipgrid with like a bunch of challenges for them to do every week. So for example, do, I don't know, the tallest tower you can build with one sheet of paper. All of those things, like different challenges that we have and they do still to have fun and interact. So this is a tab that we have here.
We have like a soccer challenge, we have a yoga challenge, we have like different challenges, just as I said, to have fun, So what we do is like we create a tab and it's a Flipgrid tab. So if our students click on that tab, it takes them directly to the Flipgrid. So you can see here we have all the 6th grade challenges with all of the 6th grade teachers. And what we do is like we record ourselves doing the challenges. So when they get into the Flipgrid, they have our video, the video of the teachers doing the challenge, completing the challenge, and then that kind of motivates them, because it's like, okay, my teacher is doing it, so I'm gonna do it, and it's great.
Also, we're going to move on, right?
Yeah.
So let's go back to the general channel. As we mentioned before, organization is really, really important in this setting. Students need to know what's coming. The students need to know what we expect from them. So here we have this tab that we create every week. It is called a schedule. So if they go here to a schedule, they will find a PDF with the schedule of the week. They can find the video calls, they can find like the different like assignments and where to find the different materials they need to complete the assignments. So we replace this every week. It's really easy. You go to settings and just look for like the PDF you want to replace, which is in your files inside of Teams, and you just put the new one right here. So they know that every Monday morning they need to come here and check their schedule.
As we say, the structure is very important in every classroom, but we think that it is even more important right now during this remote learning setting or situation. So our students on Monday, when they get into Microsoft Teams on Monday, they have this schedule, so they know everything they are going to do throughout the week. And they also have all of the assignments created on the assignments tab, and we will talk about them later. So now we are going to talk about how we do the live meetings, how we teach our lessons.
So we go to live meetings. We have done here a couple examples, just 33 seconds because they are examples, not an hour long lesson. So we go to this second one, this really fast. I don't know if you knew that, but all of these meetings or recording can be found in Microsoft Stream. So the recordings go directly to Microsoft Stream.
To your account. So you can create a list of videos like a channels, let's say like science lesson channel. So with that channel, your students can go to a stream and it's like a playlist. Every video of that science unit or science lesson is going to be there. So they can go to that channel and watch the videos and rewatch them if they have questions and all of that.
So one thing that we really like to do during our live lessons is to,
So we use our OneNote.
We use our OneNote as a whiteboard. we know that there is a whiteboard feature built into Teams meetings, but we like to use our OneNote as a whiteboard because in that way students can access to our content library and have like all the notes for every single live meeting. So they can rewatch the meeting and also they can go back to our content library and take a look at our notes. So this is an example of a science lesson that I did last week about electricity. So these are all my notes that I used to explain the lesson, and they can be found in the content library. So also we use OneNote during our live meetings because we can share a student's work. For example, same we do in class. So someone wants to share with the class this task or this exercise that you did. So we do the same. They volunteer and we can go to their OneNote notebook and share what they are doing live with the rest of the class.
Yeah, as an example, they raise their hand sometimes, or they go to the whiteboard, or they share on the TV an example. So we do the same here. We are sharing our screen, and then if one of the students want to share the assignment, what they do is just, as Alberto said, we go to their OneNote section, open the assignment, open their work, and then just we show it to the rest of the class.
So that's why we really like to share our screen. I use OneNote as a whiteboard and as like that place where everything is there from us and from our students, because they work live with us during our lessons.
So basically what we do is every day, or well, not every day, but probably every other week, we teach this lesson. We do this live meeting. We have like a live lesson. And after this, our students have an assignment. So when we finish this lesson, we close the meeting, we end the meeting, and our students—
Thank you for that new feature, by the way.
Yeah, thank you for the feature, it's amazing. So we end the meeting because we can do it now, and then we go to assignments. So in assignments, our students have the activity or the task that they need to do after the call. And it is, of course, related what we have learned in the call.
So if we go to assignments really fast, remember that assignments is in your general channel. We go to assignments. Here we have 3 assignments that we created as an example of science. So 2 of them are linked or distribute using OneNote, the OneNote like feature that it is here in Microsoft Teams, and the other one it is related with Flipgrid. So they need to do it in Flipgrid. So let's jump into Flipgrid really fast. We have just 3 more minutes. So let's do it and let's talk about Flipgrid really fast. No, this one. Oops.
That one?
That
All
one.
right.
There we go.
So
we go to Flipgrid. Flipgrid. Who doesn't like Flipgrid, right?
Yeah, like we love it. We use it for almost everything we do. Like, for example, just today, like my students did like 5 different activities with Flipgrid. It's amazing. And now we have like a new feature, which is even better. I'm gonna give you an example of what my students did. We are studying the Middle Ages. So they needed to build castle, and then they needed to they needed to build a castle on Minecraft. And after that, they used Flipgrid with their new feature called screen recording, and they recorded their screen with the Minecraft, and they showed to me all of the castle parts, you know, and everything we had studied. And after that, I could watch the video and see how well they understood the concept, all of the parts of the castle.
So I think that the thing that we like the most in this remote learning setting about Flipgrid is the option that you can do attachments, right? Mm-hmm. So you can attach links and more stuff to the topic for students to review that content before they do the assignment. So for example, we have here an example, like I ask my students to kind of to tell me everything they learned about landforms. So here they have like a structure I gave to them to kind of guide them through the process. And then I attach these different like resources that we have been using throughout the term to learn about this. And tip, take your time to review that attachment.
That is very important. It's like we always tell our students, it's not a suggestion. It is something that you really need to do, okay? Because sometimes they tend to forget, well, that's what they say, right? And they don't take a look to the assignments. So now their videos are kind of, they have like lower quality, let's say that. So as Alberto said, the students can kind of review all of those attachments on all of those resources before they record their video. So it's great because it's another way to review all of the content that they study.
And also like 10 minutes. This is a new feature. So we went from 5 to 10 minutes. So that's a new feature that if you didn't know about it, it is also huge.
It is so great because sometimes our students needed to record like 2 or 3 videos to explain something. So right now with this feature, they just can do it in one video, and it is just amazing. So I think.
Thank you so much. That was the.
Yeah, we went very fast because we had a lot of things to cover in just like 25 minutes and all of that. But we invite everyone that if you have questions or you want to reach us out or you need help or whatever, just feel free to send us an email or contact us via Twitter or just whatever. We are here to help to everyone. And, you know, like Microsoft, the Microsoft education community is amazing. And we would like to, you know, just help everyone that we can.
So that was it from us today. So thank you so much to everyone for joining us today, and we hope you have a great rest of the day. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you, Alberto and Mario. Amazing. So many cool things. Actually, the last 2 days we had Charlie and the Merrills on showing deep dive into Flipgrid, and then all the work that you both showed today. It is super cool. So thanks for joining today. And we appreciate your time. Okay, so for today's updates, just to recap, Alberto and Mario's blog, the eTwins blog. If you haven't gone and checked that out, definitely do it. Then the inclusive and accessible distance learning. So that's the new blog that we have for all of our information there. And then quick tips videos. If you want to get the quick tips from Microsoft, from myself, from Alice Keeler, from Holly Clark. There's a nice wakelet here. You can go and get all those playlists really easy. So we'll be posting the deck. Now the deck for this one wasn't as chock full of slides. You're gonna have to watch the webinar to get all the really coolness from the eTwins, but the links will be in the deck. And then this will post on our YouTube playlist that we always post these out to. And then if you have a support ticket or you have any help you need, be sure to go here to the Edu support alias and file a support ticket.
Hey, Mike, yeah? Can I interrupt you? Could you show your slides with this so that people have the links right there?
Oh, are the slides not coming through?
No, we don't have your slides. Can you push it out?
Oh, it says it's presenting, but I guess it's not presenting. Hold on, I'll try again. Give me a second here. Interesting. Let me try again.
All right.
How's that? Okay, sorry about that. Well, there are the links that I just talked about that you didn't see. The eTwins blog, the inclusive blog, and the quick tips video. And then in terms of the link for the PowerPoint, same spot as normal. This will also be on the playlist, and then the educator support link right here. And then lastly, for future webinars, tomorrow we have school community well-being and social emotional learning. We've got Mark Sparvell and Christy Kelly. We've got families and parents on Thursday, which will be great. That's the first webinar we've done based on families and parents. And then on Monday, we're going big time on Monday. We've got Mr. Alan November, an interview. So I'm looking very much forward to that too. I've known Alan for many years now, but it'll be interesting to hear his take on distance learning and what's been happening all over the country. And then our full schedule is below, the remote learning webinar schedule. So check that out and sign up. And thank you very much to Marilyn, our producer, and thanks for help behind the scenes with questions, both Charles and Jess. And we hope to see you soon.